what is rehab romance? If you don't know, chances are you've never been in one, right? Traditionally, the term comes from the quote unquote relationships that people in early recovery, sometimes in rehab, but not always, form as a distraction from the gnawing, incessant, fucked up craziness that's unleashed in the mind once a person's substance of choice is removed from their daily life. Men and women and non-binary folks that get lonely and we get bored and we're insecure and we get horny. Let's be real, and hooking up with someone, either physically or emotionally or both, is a great way to solve some of these issues for a short time. And this is why co-ed rehabilitation centers are all bad, because humans are going to hook up, right? And they're going to fuck each other's brains out in the laundry rooms and under shrubs, and there's nothing that can be done to stop it except to keep the animals separated, like the Offspring song. And the term 13th stepping is also applied here. It's a funny little addition to the 12-step model, and it's unofficial, and it's when people in recovery make sweet love by the light of a Newport cigarette. The old 13th step shuffle. I remember I was in a rehab program, one of my many visits to such fine institutions, and we were all piled into big white vans and taken to an outside meeting at a church. God only knows why. And it was a candlelight vigil that was being held by a small community at a church in remembrance of those whose lives had been lost to addiction, right? And it was unfortunately the last outside meeting we were ever invited to as a group, because during the vigil, a couple from the rehab was caught by the pastor in the middle of a hand job, which was amazing, not only because there were 300 people in the church at the time, but because everyone was holding candles that were dripping hot wax in their hands. Like, the skill required to pull off such a maneuver speaks to the dedication with which us addicts will pursue carnal pleasures at all costs, including second-degree burns, right, and upset church pastors. Now, I'm not trying to preach here. Have I been involved in my share of rehab romances? You better believe it. Do I recommend them? No, not really. It is a fun distraction while it lasts, but that's all it is, right? A distraction to assist in the avoidance of these shitty feelings that crop up when the drugs and the booze and the poker games have to go bye-bye. Now, is anybody going to listen to this and think, oh, I better stay away from all that nonsense? No, maybe, but probably not. It's just food for thought.